You know a book is wild when the end of humanity isn't even the weirdest part. Today's episode contains amnesia, space, the end of humanity, and an alien you'll love more than most people. Let's talk about Project Hail Mary.
Welcome back to Book Slayers, where we put dark fiction books and occasionally books that emotionally destroy us on trial and see if they've committed crimes against their readers or whether they're getting a full acquittal. Today, we're diving into Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir, a science fiction survival story that's part mystery, part space adventure, part biology lesson, because there was a lot of science, part engineering exam, and somehow one of the best friendships ever written. Seriously, I did not expect to become one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. Yeah, here we are. By the end of the episode, we will have answered, is this Andy Weir's masterpiece? Is Ryland Gray secretly the luckiest unlucky man alive? And why is every reader suddenly willing to die for something that looks like a 5-legged spider? I gotta say, the one thing about this book and movie was that. Because it took me a while to stop cringing.
Stop cringing? Or what?
I don't like spiders. I don't like spiders.
Oh, okay. I'm not a fan of spiders, but yeah. I will say, like, from the book to the movie, I thought in the book that he was bigger. And when I see him on the movie, it's like, oh, okay, he's not as big.
No.
Maybe it was so it was less scary. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about the movie just yet, but I am going to say one thing. He was so fucking adorable when he was running around in that hamster ball. He's so excited.
I did not think of that. That's really funny.
I was cracking up. Mike's like, why are you laughing? I'm like, he's in a hamster ball. He's like, I can't unsee that.
I wish I watched it with you. That would have been so funny to watch it with that in your head. That is funny. Oh.
Okay. I am going to start by anyone who hasn't read or watched the movie yet. I actually can't believe that you have done neither, but it's one of those books that doesn't really stay within one genre for me because it felt like it covered multiple things. The science fiction side, the mystery, survival, so it's almost dystopian in nature. But yeah, I got to say, the sciencey stuff I thought would be really off-putting, but it really wasn't.
No, I actually found it quite easy. Well, not easy. Once I'd worked out how to pronounce some words, I did have to Google some stuff. But yeah, I didn't find it too over the top. I don't know if I would recommend it to like my mum. I don't know if I don't think she would get on board with that. I think that might be a bit much for her. But no, I found it okay. I actually found some of it quite interesting. And I started thinking, if science was like that when I was at school, maybe I would have liked it a bit more.
Oh, him as a science teacher. Oh my God. I loved it. I probably would have been too. He really engaged his class.
Yeah.
But it's funny. It's funny because the only science teacher I can remember is Mr. Powell.
I don't remember that one.
Well, he was my form tutor. Like he was like, yeah. And he was like, Stacey, you're so good at physics. And I'm like, I hate math.
Oh, I love maths.
Do you really? Oh, more of the like, I like language. Like,
I do think you're either like English or maths driven. My kids are English. I'm maths. My dad's maths. I don't know what my mum is. I don't think she did a lot of school.
I know that my mum did a lot of not going.
Yeah, I think that was the same with my mum. They was probably driving off together somewhere with Shelley.
Yeah. Oh, the three amigos. Little shit. So anyone that hasn't read this book yet, it's basically about Earth is going to be destroyed. There is something happening in Venus and it is literally sucking all the energy out of the sun. And it's just a little bit at a time, but it's enough that in so many years, I think it's 30 years, it's going to put the Earth into an ice age, which means basically the end of humanity. So, loss of crops, loss of life, all that good stuff. So they call it Project Hail Mary because this is like their last ditch effort to try and save the world. I'm not going to lie though. The fact of what they did to him, I was still really angry.
Oh, when you find out at the end what they did.
Yeah, motherfuckers. I was so fucking mad.
I was pissed, but because you just assume when you're reading it that he's become a volunteer by sort of not on purpose, but because other people couldn't go. So then he's volunteered himself because he's got the coma gene, so he can stay in a coma for a long time and his body will wake up okay. Still don't quite fully understand why the other two didn't make it. But yeah, I was angry about that as well.
My guess was that they may have had the gene, but that didn't necessarily mean they were going to wake up because it wasn't really fully tested. They kind of like they threw this shit out there pretty fucking quick. But it was funny because Mike was like, so he didn't want to go. I'm like, no. He's like, but they basically kidnapped him and then he forgot he'd been kidnapped. I'm like, yeah. He was like, but he's like, one man over 8 billion people. He was like, I'm like, yeah, but seriously.
Yeah. I think it helps the story. And I'm not saying it was right, by the way, but they're saying that he didn't have any sort of family. He wasn't attached. All that he had was like his school children who would have grown up and gone to their own lives. So they try and like get around it like that. But yeah, I was really angry for him. Like when he remembered.
Yeah.
But the whole time he just thought that he was this brave volunteer and then he finds out that he wasn't. He was just made to do it.
You know what? It's funny because I don't remember if the book illustrated it as well as the movie did, but you could see that he felt shame for what he did because I don't want to talk about the movie yet, but Ryan Gosling, oh my fucking God, to be able to act all by your fucking self and maybe going, fuck me, that was great. Mike was like, do you think that creature was really there? I'm like, yeah, they managed to find this alien creature going to act in the movie. He was like, no. Oh, it was funny. I'm like, no, it was probably a green screen, sweetheart.
Green screen, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But also, that must still be really hard, though, to act with something that's not there and you're just looking at, I imagine, like a circle, like there's just a circle object so he could follow it, maybe. I don't know. I don't quite know how it works, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to ask Caitlin, but let's go back to the book first. So for me, I loved the mystery side of stuff. I wasn't expecting a science fiction book to have so much of like a mystery to kind of solve in there as well. And it hooked me immediately. Like I did the audiobook first last year. It was one of my favorite reads of last year. And it's actually one of my top audiobooks of all time. And so when I was reading this book, because I have my copy right here, I'm like, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about reading it. And actually, I really fucking enjoyed it. And I think it's because I'd already done the audiobook. I knew how to pronounce stuff.
Yeah. Astrophage. Like, when I first read it, I was like, what is that?
I thought, Mike was like, I wonder how many words they make up for sci-fis. I'm like, probably a lot. But you see stuff repeated too. So maybe someone's got like a Bible of here's made up words for science fiction. You can just borrow them. just write in the notes. Got that from blah, blah, blah.
Maybe. But, yeah, it did hook me as well. I was quite invested straight away. I was quite into it. And I was excited to read it. I didn't go into it thinking that I wouldn't like it. I went in thinking that I would because I've had people recommend me the book. And I brought it in like April. So I've been waiting to read it. But yeah, definitely hooked straight away. I liked the sort of back and forth. Like, obviously, it starts off where he's woken up in the spaceship and you don't know what the hell's going on. And he can't talk, which I found funny.
I was laughing my fucking ass off at that because in the audiobook you can hear it, right? Reading it was funnier. I don't know why.
But then I liked the sort of flashback so you could see how it was getting to that point. I do like that in a story. But yeah, it was funny. I really liked it when in the book when Rocky talks, it's just like musical notes. And I felt, do you know what, when I was reading it, because I did try and get the audiobook as well, but it was money and that I didn't have.
Yeah.
But I thought that would actually be really good to listen to hear it. So when I watched the film, it was like, oh, even though I kind of had an idea, but it was good to put it all together.
Yeah, it's I have a new appreciation for science teachers because I don't know if it's just because I wasn't a science kid as a kid. So at school, I kind of tuned most of it out. But he really like sold me on the idea of like school must be great for kids now. Like I was loving his technique. And there was so much science in this book. And I was like, I wonder if that's going to put people off. It didn't put Mike off. It didn't put me off. It obviously didn't put you off. But like they had everything. They had the physics, they had biology, they had chemistry, they had orbital mechanics, they had evolution, microbiology, relativity, engineering. I'm like, holy fuck, there was a lot to cram in. Andy Weir, I'm not being funny, is like Google.
How the fuck did I read that and understand it all? That is a lot of science from someone who is not a science person.
It's funny because I did The Martian too. I'm not going to talk about the book, but there's science stuff in there as well. But Andy Weir's so clever. I didn't feel stupid.
I didn't. I actually felt clever because I was like, I get it.
Yeah, makes sense.
The first book that I've read that I'm like, wow, I must be clever.
I really enjoyed it. So for me, the science was like the action part in this book. And I was absolutely freaking gripped. I thought it was very, very clever. And the pacing, okay? I was expecting this book to move at a snail's pace because I remember the audiobook, and pacing with audiobooks is like, it's weird for me because I read it so fast. I listen so fast. So I can't really tell. But it actually moves really quick because every time Ryland solves one impossible problem, Andy Weir literally creates 3 more. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, oh, ship's fixed. Nope, now the fuel is contaminated. Like I was like, ooh. It's like something's eating it. It's like, oh shit.
How fucking scary must that be? I mean, first of all, to just wake up on your own and you've got 2 other dead bodies. I did like how he just like, I know he didn't do it literally straight away, but then he was like, right, get them bodies out, chuck them in space. I was like, fucking hell.
Well, they're going to, like, how long? Well, yeah, would you want to be sticking around with that?
Well, no, but also, I don't know. I just found it a bit like, oh, God. Maybe just put a blanket over it.
It smelled though. Could you imagine being in space and having like stinky, icky poops? Nothing cute.
But yeah, it must have been really scary. 1, to wake up like that and not know why he was there. 2, have to work out the ship, even though it started coming back to him, but he didn't know why.
Yeah.
Then obviously when all the little problems come up, you know, you think like some of them had like suicide pacts. I don't know if I would have got to that first because it sounds really stressful.
Yeah. Well, they knew it was a one-way trip, that they wouldn't have enough to get home. So they knew that going meant they were going to die. But it's funny because now you just said that part about that book. That was one of the funniest parts for me when he wakes up and he remembers something and he's like, am I smart? He's like, am I smart? Why do I know that?
So, this is sort of in order of how they happened. So the first one I wrote down was obviously him talking in the book, and he said, "Yeah, I don't want to look dumb in front of the aliens." Because do you know what? When we imagine aliens, we imagine a much cleverer species than us, don't we?
Yeah.
And actually, although they was clever, it was more our technology that was better than the aliens, which I found was an interesting spin.
Well, I thought what it was is that he was on board as the engineer, so he wasn't there to be the scientist. So he was like bottom of the barrel, really. But I loved it. I loved it in the book where he kept telling him he was stupid. He didn't know math. I thought Rocky was hilarious. I was fucking dying. Look, give me some more of those. Did you say you wrote down some more?
Okay. Yeah, I've got a few. So the whole sleeping thing where Rocky needs someone to watch him sleep because when they sleep, they're literally like paralyzed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, I can't remember who said this, but someone said, going to sleep now, I'll be back in 29,000 seconds. Because they had to have those talking. And I found that really funny. Like, imagine saying to someone, oh, like, I'll see you tomorrow, but you say, oh, I'll see you tomorrow in like 5 million seconds. You'd be like, what? I know my math is not great. I know that's wrong. You get my drift. Yeah. Just the waving. When they would just do the wave, like when they first see each other, they learned how to like wave to each other. I found it really interesting how they learned to communicate with each other through the book. I loved Rocky when he would ask a question. At the end, he would have to say question.
Yeah.
Oh, this must have been near the end of the book when Grace cried and Rocky was like, your face opening is in sad mode. Face opening. Fist my bump. Not fist bump, fist my bump.
Fist my bump.
Some of that was like, it's getting a bit too close to the line of, we'll move on.
Yeah.
And the very last one, which I found really gross at the end, I don't know if I should do this one. No, I won't explain it. Me burger. When you find out what me burger is, I was like, oh no. So it was all my funny things I remembered to write down about the book because I was quite invested in it. But yeah, there was lots of funny bits that I enjoyed.
Oh, it was so funny, Mike, because I was obviously laughing right as I was reading, and Mike was like, "Yeah, I know where you are," because he laughed at the same points. And then when he was reading The Martian, he's like, "I get why you were laughing now." I'm like, Andy Weir is quite comical.
Hang on. He'd already heard you laughing at The Martian. Because I've immediately downloaded that book as well, by the way. I downloaded it this morning.
So good. But yeah, he started with Project Hail Mary because he actually talked about coming on and talking with us today, but he chickened out. So I was like, whatever. But he did Project Hail Mary first, and I did The Martian, and then we switched. And it's just funny, like when he laughed, I'm like, I know where you're laughing about the fact that the poop and the potatoes. Like, yeah, he's funny. Andy Weir's funny.
Yeah. I did see, because I had a look at some Goodreads reviews, and there was quite a few people that mentioned if they didn't like it, it was because they had read The Martian and it wasn't as good. So that's why I was like, I have to download this book. No.
Okay. So I gave, oh God, I'm going to ruin this right now. So I gave Project Hail Mary 5 stabbies. I gave The Martian 4.75 stabbies. It's still very, very good, but it wasn't Project Hail Mary good because there was no Rocky. It lost a quarter of a star because there was no Rocky.
Which one did you read first? Project Hail Mary. Oh, okay. Oh, I wonder what I'll think. I'll keep you posted when I get around to it.
I'm interested to see what you think. Now, Mike said The Martian started out better. So I don't know. Maybe.
We'll see. I did, as we're doing stabbies, I also 5 stabbied this book.
Yes!
I did. Yes! It was good. But as we like to do, I have got some Goodreads reviews.
Yeah, give them to me.
Of these are just people that didn't like it because they're the funniest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you will get this reference. I hope you do. So this is a 1-star. This book is the nastiest skank bitch I have ever read. Do not trust her. It is a fugly slut.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls.
That just made me laugh. Someone 1-starred it and just wrote, quoting Rocky, bad, bad, bad. Someone 2-starred and put, I'm sorry, the only reason it didn't get 1 star is because of Rocky's voice. I don't know if they audioed it or what.
Oh, they must have. The audio book was really good. It was really, really good. If I was going to buy an audio, and I don't do that, I would totally buy this one.
Yeah, that's it. The other one is not as funny.
That's fine. I went and had a look too, but I knew that you would bring the magic. So
yeah. Do you know what though? There wasn't a lot. I mean, obviously, I think the book on Goodreads rates at like 4.51.
It does. So yeah, and it's got 1.7 million. 1.7 million.
So even though there was only like a tiny amount of 1 and 2 stars, obviously there was a 3, but that was really long, and I get bored reading long ones. I just like the snappy little gems in there. So thank you for people who write those. Keep doing those because I enjoy them.
Yes, please. We love them.
Or send us yours. If you know we're reading a book and you've got a I love it or hate it good one-liner, send them to us.
Yeah, drop them in the comments. We love those. Like Jackie always makes me laugh when she does these. Okay, so I want to talk about Ryland Grace right now. Now, I think that he is the most relatable protagonist I have found in a book in a very long time. And it's not because he's clever. It's because he literally wakes up and he brings the panic. Like, that would be me. Who wakes up on a fucking spaceship and is just like, oh, okay, this seems right. I'd be doing the same shit. He was sarcastic, sleep-deprived, terrified, frequently talking to himself. I thought that was fucking hilarious. Making jokes during life-threatening situations. And I handle stress that way. And I was just like, oh my God, he is me with a penis.
Yeah, we do like sarcasm. We are quite sarcastic people.
Yes. But I also like the fact that he wasn't trying to be a hero. He was literally like, fuck that. I'm not going on no suicide mission. Fuck you guys. We got 30 years, bitches. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny when he was like, I'll think about it. And they was like, you have, I think in the book it's like nearly 5 hours. And he's like, oh shit. And he goes back and he's like, no. Like, who says no? Like, you need to save the world. No, thanks. I'll just stay here. You must have someone better than me.
Yeah. She was like, you were in every meeting. He was like, not every meeting. I was fucking dead, man. But I also love the fact that he celebrated the small victories. He got frustrated. He second guessed himself a lot. He laughed. He cried. He adapts. Like, oh, I don't know. For me, he was the exact character I needed right when I needed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Oh, man, it was so great. And it was like, this is some of my favorite parts about Ryland. It was like, I'm going to die. 5 minutes later, oh, I have an idea. 5 minutes after that, oh no, that idea made everything worse. And he literally did that for the whole fucking
back. I loved it when he wanted to like go back to Rocky, and then he was like, I wish that Rocky was here to help me go and save Rocky, because I don't know what to do.
That's fucking funny shit, man. And let's talk about Rocky, okay?
Oh, he's so cute.
I know.
Pet Rocky in a hamster ball that sings to me. Oh,
you know what? It's funny because I think when I first started reading it, and I obviously knew there was an alien coming, I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but I think he might have been the greatest fictional character ever written. Not one of the great sci-fi characters, just period. One of the greatest characters, period. I never expected to fall in love with a 5-legged, rock-eating, ammonia-breathing, spider-looking alien. But here we are, right here. That's my life now. Can you fucking explain that? Somebody explain it.
I cannot explain it. I do think a lot of it is because he was a nice alien as well. Like, imagine if you met someone in space and they was like, shit, attack. Like, that could have easily gone that way because they don't know each other, obviously. No. They haven't seen each other. But I think it is also like just the bromance that comes out of it. You know, they actually like I like it when because they sort of learn to speak and they can understand each other. I know in the book you just then get Rocky's, but I can't remember where I was going. You might have to pause this. Where was I going with that? So they learn to speak to each other, but then they end up having to say some things like just quite literal, like, you are my friend. No one talks like that, but it's so cute. It's like, like little kids would just say, this is my friend. We are friends. Whereas when you meet someone as an adult, you'd be like, all right, this is Stacey. Yeah. It's just really cute the way that they built up their little bromance.
I loved it because for me, it was like the first meeting. So normally when you do the first like encounter thing with aliens, right, they make it so dramatic. But this one, they didn't do that. There was no shots fired. There was no invasion. There was no giant speech about how welcome to this blah, 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 because I fucking hate that. There was no war. So there's like literally no misunderstanding. It's just two scientists from opposite ends of the galaxy. And it's like, hello, this is awkward. It's funny. It's fascinating. And honestly, it's probably one of the best first contact things I've ever seen because especially in the movie really did really well at portraying that. And watching them build their like language together. Oh.
It was so good. I mean, at first it was a little bit infuriating because he was like, I don't know what you're doing, you're waving, or like, he sent the ship thing over and then he understood what he meant and like, but like building that up and, through the book, I mean, luckily it does cut it down. It's not like today we learnt hello and goodbye. Like they do, like we've learnt like this many words. Like think how long it would take to like try and work out 100 words.
Yeah.
Just so you could communicate.
I like the fact they started with the clock. It's like
time.
Numbers.
Yeah. Math. Same.
Yeah.
And they knew about like the like language of like what oxygen is like because they knew like the atoms. We could send him the thing, so then he had the thing, and he was like, "Oh, you're saying that you've put oxygen in this tunnel, so I can take my helmet off." And like, I mean, a lot to trust an alien because he might have just wanted to board his ship.
Yeah, but hey, you're on a suicide mission. I'd be like, fuck it, whatever. What have I got to lose at this point?
Yeah, but it was really clever. But like, imagine, like, if that was me there, I'd just be like, mate, I don't know what the fuck you're saying. Like, I don't know. Like, what? Do you know what else must have been really hard? Like, obviously, as humans, a lot of our communication is through like body language. and like
Yes.
facial expressions. Rocky
Tone.
doesn't have a fucking face. So how the hell do you tell what a rock spider combination is trying to tell you?
I know he figures it out though.
You
And
don't.
it's funny because for me, he was my emotional support spider, and I freaking hate spiders. But also, I felt like, okay, and this is going to sound so bad. I don't mean it this way, okay? But for me, their friendship was the real love story. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but neither of them understood each other. They didn't trust each other immediately. They were both scared because they were both alone, both completely isolated. And they started to build the trust and the bond and the affection and the respect. And I'm like,
Wonder if that would have been different though. Say if like Grace was on his own.
Yeah.
And Rocky had like 10 of him. That would be scary, wouldn't it? Like 10 aliens trying to talk to you. You'd be like, you might want to eat me. I don't know. Like, would they have, if there was too many people, they wouldn't have, I don't know if they wouldn't be able to build the bond. They wouldn't have had the time or spent the time. I think they both had to give each other time because they both didn't have anyone else.
Yeah. And they had to. They both had a job to do. They both had to save their civilizations. And they found a way to, I don't know, I was really charmed by it. And it's funny because one of my funniest scenes in the book for me, okay, was where Rylan was like, this food is disgusting. And Rocky was like, this is delicious. And Rylan was like, you live like this? And he was like, you breathe oxygen. Fair point. I was fucking dying, man. And it just, I don't know, they were always like teasing each other and it was, I don't know, I loved it.
Yeah, I did. It is one of the best books I've read in quite a while.
And it was sci-fi. It wasn't even a thriller.
I know. But is it still like a thriller? Well, it's like mystery, maybe not, maybe thrilling sometimes, but maybe not an actual thriller.
No, it's definitely listed as sci-fi. Like I think they called it hard sci-fi. I don't know what that fucking means, but whatever.
Hard sci-fi.
Yeah, I
Ooh.
think because it's very sciencey. Like it's
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I was trying to work out if there were any subgenres, and I weren't getting nothing. So even I think Goodreads, science fiction, fantasy, space. Well, thanks. That's real fucking handy. So there's going to be words now I can't pronounce. Okay, can we talk about the flashbacks? Do you think they were important to the story?
100%. It showed everything that led to the story. I thought it was great that he was the first person to like breed them, which is why he was sort of kept on board. Well, they kind of come and stole him because he'd written a paper, hadn't he, about how aliens might not be water. And then when they got these little tiny astrophage and then he did all that testing and then he was like, they're made of water.
Yeah, they
disappointed.
didn't need water. That's what he said. He said they didn't need water, and they were like, wrong. And she didn't want him to be part of the program. So you know what? He only had himself to fucking blame because they were like, we're going to give them out to other scientists, and he was like, I want 4.
Yeah, I want to do it too.
It was.
I want to play science too.
And he was like, oh, what? She said, you're fine. You can have 3. Now, if he hadn't have said nothing, I bet they wouldn't have sent him to fucking space.
I bet the world would have ended though.
Yeah, true. But you wouldn't have known that for 30 years. So you would have just had a really good 30 years.
No, because I think it would have got slowly worse and worse. It sounded like it was going to get. It's mad, isn't it? Because it says like how much per year, and it's like 1%, and it's like when you hear that, you think, oh, that's not too bad. And it's like, but over 30 years, then you're like, oh shit, or it's going to drop like 1 degree, and you're like, I could lose 1 degree. Apparently,
the ecosystem of Earth actually is quite fragile because I didn't believe it. I googled it, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, liar, fucking liar. No, it's actually quite true. It is a delicate balance, and it's funny because someone was like, well, these AI centers are heating the planet. No one seems to be concerned about that. Anyway, so when I was reading the book, I hate flashbacks. I don't think they're necessary, but this book, it was necessary. Every single flashback answered a question I didn't know I had until it flashed back, and I'm like, oh. Okay, I get it now. Okay. Like, I'm not being funny, but Strat, what a bitch.
Oh, if you had someone in charge of the world, it wouldn't be that woman, would it?
No.
Like, I mean, morally, like everything she did was so bad, but at the end of the day, her job was, but I'm going to save the world, or I'm going to get other people to save it. So like all rules went out the window with her. But then if you didn't have her doing that, it might not have happened,
Yeah.
you know?
You know what? And that's not, and I completely agree with you, but Jesus fuck, dude, her methods, man.
She
Her
is like
methods
straight
were
up villain, isn't she?
whack. We'll talk about the difference between her in the book and then in the movie. Like, I want to finish with that part because I got things to say.
Okay.
But like, I don't know. I guess because it was like 30 years and everyone would be dead, right? But it felt like immediate emergency. Like that he had to get this stuff done and he was the only one. That was it. He was literally the Hail Mary pass. And if he didn't fix it, they were fucked.
Yeah. The whole of humanity is in the hands of one man.
One science teacher. You put that in perspective, eh? But the one thing that I did love about this book that just comes slightly behind their bromance was the world building, because I actually thought it was very clever the way most of it was done on the ship, but we also got the flashback of Earth. So you saw what he was there to fix, I guess, like the families and all the science stuff. And I don't know. I thought it was really clever the way I felt like I was on that ship. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was
it was
I
quite
could visualize
immersive.
everything. Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I've totally felt the same. Felt very immersed in it. I was in the tunnel. I did, because in the book, he doesn't get to go on Rocky's ship, does he?
No.
But he does in the movie.
Yeah.
So you
That's one
see
of
a bit
the
of it.
key differences. I
Yeah.
like that. I actually quite enjoyed that.
What, that he got to go on his ship? Yeah.
I was glad that the
did.
movie filled that hole for me.
Yeah. Do you know what else the movie did for me? Showed me how Rocky sees things and to understand, like, because he doesn't use light. It's more like
sound.
I don't know. Is it sound waves? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me, like bats, like sonar.
Yeah. But it was nice to see that visually because I couldn't think how he was doing it. I've clearly never seen that before.
No.
But yeah, I found that good.
I did too. I really enjoyed that. But the one thing, like, because I wrote notes on this, I'm like, the way they problem solve together. It was like every chapter was like, oh no, followed by, what if we tried this? To, well, that worked. And then 12 seconds later, they had a new problem to solve. It was like a constant state of like, uh-oh, I got it fixed. Uh-oh.
I can't even like find cars to buy at the minute. I cannot imagine like solving a problem and being like, oh, I'm done. And then another one keep coming up. I'm so stressed just looking at cars. Like how does like, I know there's nothing else to do there, but fuck me. So many problems. I would, like I said, suicide bag. I'll be out. I wouldn't cope with the pressure.
No, I'm a big whiny baby. I'd probably go have a nap. Okay. Is there anything in the book that you think didn't work or that you didn't enjoy?
Oh, I can't think of anything that I would have you? Have you got something you would change?
No, not change per se. But I guess the idea that the sciencey stuff was going to be such a big part of it before I understood how well it was done. Like because everyone was talking about it and I was still slightly off put by the idea that this book was going to be crammed full of sciencey stuff that I probably wouldn't understand. And I wished that I didn't have that preconceived notion. I gave it 5 stars, so I wouldn't change a goddamn thing. Yeah, I even really enjoyed the ending.
I didn't expect it to end the way it did, to be honest.
Fuck no.
No, I didn't see it coming. I liked it. I did feel a little bit sad. I don't know. Are we going to go into the ending?
I just want to say one thing before you go into the ending. The only problem that I had in the book, and it wasn't even enough to drop any of my rating, was that the middle the pacing dropped slightly. I don't know if you noticed that. It kind of dragged a little bit because we went from non-stop action to kind of like plod for a little bit. But it felt like a break, and I quite enjoyed that. But I know other people complained about it.
But don't you think as well, like that might just add a bit to the realism? Like it couldn't have had shit to do every day. You know, like some of it was going to be a bit slower. Like making scientific discoveries do not happen overnight. So no, I didn't mind. I never had that with the pacing. I didn't think that.
And I know a lot of people complain about this. I really liked it though, that the ending was so emotional. I like.
Oh no, I didn't cry at the movie or the book. I actually, I thought I would have. Yeah, I thought I would have felt more emotional. I was very happy. Right, we're going to go to the ending now because I can't skirt around it anymore. So, Ryland, obviously, him and Rocky, they work out what to do. They've got the answer. They're going to both go back to their own planets. On the way back, Ryland realizes that the astrophage is being eaten by these other fucking tau amoeba shit. So, and then while he's fixing his ship, which he does fix and he saves all of his fuel, he then realizes that he needs to go back for Rocky because Rocky won't know that the same thing is happening.
Yeah.
So he goes to find him, and I was very happy when they found each other. It was sad that he knew that he wouldn't go home and he would probably die now, but he still went back to save Rocky, and that was very... I didn't cry, though.
I did?
No, I didn't cry.
He owed Rocky... If you think about the logic here, okay? Going home or helping an alien, most people would have picked going home. He didn't. That was his friends.
But it also, like, he could get his stuff back to Earth. He wasn't just saving Rocky, he was saving the whole of Erid.
Yeah,
like, could you have that on your shoulders? Could you go back to your planet and be like, fuck, I really wish I'd gone back? Like, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what, though? Because after I was finished, I was like, you know what? I would have picked the fucking aliens too. Those motherfuckers didn't care about my bodily autonomy. They kidnapped my fucking ass and said, you're going to die, bitch. So I probably would have gone with them anyway.
What I did find sad about the end of the book is that I wanted him to get his homecoming to be like, yay, I'm amazing. I know, like, we learn that the answer makes it back to Earth, and he knows that years later. But then he kind of settles in Erid, which I sort of liked, but also I was like, but you're the only human and you live in a bubble for your whole life. Yeah. You can't touch anyone again. You can't... I found that a bit sad, but also that he didn't even know if he wanted to go back now. Because it was just a really long trip.
Yeah, it was like, fuck, I'm almost dead, whatever.
He's like, oh yeah.
But if you think about it, he didn't have a wife. He wasn't... It's not like he was a touchy-feely, huggy kind of person. So who the fuck was he touching anyway? Wasn't touching his kids at the school. So, where's the difference here?
I just said that.
I'm just saying.
I just mean, like, I know he's not in isolation, but he is a little bit. He's only got so much room that he can go to. Like, imagine just only being allowed in your house and you're in there, but I can go back and, like, just wave to you through the window and talk through the window. After a while, I think you go a bit fucking nuts.
He was planning on dying on a spaceship, so I think this was probably the lesser of the evils. I
don't know. I wanted him to make it home as well, but I was more happy that him and Rocky got back together. And then he saved him. But they kind of saved each other, because without each other, they wouldn't have got through everything that they had to do. Like, Ryland couldn't do all the engineering stuff. Rocky didn't know what the fuck he was doing with all the science stuff. He would have never known. So yeah, it was like a team effort to save two worlds, not just one, two.
Well, they probably saved more than that. It's just those were the two races that managed to get there to fix it. There could have been other aliens that didn't even know yet that this was going to become a problem.
Yeah, because in the book, I think it sort of ends or alludes to, like, there could be life on all these other planets where all these other stars are. Like, who else is out there, and does someone else need help? Because that astrophage has, like, gotten to all these stars apart from Tau Ceti.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember. That's what I'm calling it. Yeah. They could be, like, other planets. So it's like, well, should they go and check? Does anyone need a hand? Because we know the answer.
Does it help? Just me and my trusty little stone spider. So I did a little Bookslayer verdict. These were the charges I gave it, because we always say we're going to put them on trial and then we never kind of get around to that part. So I'm like, the charges are causing emotional damage, making readers cry over an alien, not you robot, making science cool, ruining every future first contact story because that one was brilliant, and setting friendship standards impossibly high. It's guilty as charged.
Guilty. Absolutely.
Guilty. I think it's mandatory reading for anybody that reads science fiction. Okay, let's move into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what did you think about them casting Ryan Gosling for a start?
I thought he's great. I do like Ryan Gosling though. I think he's good in most of his movies. And like we said earlier, he is quite talented to do most of that on his own.
Yeah.
Just a green screen. And yeah, I think he did it really well.
I do as well. But the thing about Ryan Gosling is that he's already naturally charming and funny and charismatic. And the movie literally lent into the fact that he's naturally awkward. Like I quite enjoyed that. Like I wasn't. I've seen a lot of his movies. I think he's hit or miss for me, but he fucking nailed it.
Yeah,
nailed it.
He totally did.
And what about Rocky? What you obviously were expecting to have a much larger creature.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be like quite big in like much bigger. And then when he was like littler and cute, I was like, oh, that's so much better. I found that better than thinking of like this massive giant fucking rock. The Rock, you know.
The Rock. I don't know. He was so cute. Like when I realized he only had 5 legs, not 6, I don't know why that made me feel better.
His hands where it had like 3 bits. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Had like 3 little pincers, and he could be like doing something and then doing something over here. Like, how handy would it be to have an extra couple of hands?
Hey,
you know?
But it's funny because watching the movie, you could see just how excited Rocky was with all the new things he was learning too. And he's running around in his little hamster ball. And I was fucking dying, man. He was like, and he was being he was like, oh yeah, come on, yeah. I thought it was great. I thought it was done really well. And for me, it stuck close enough to the book that it didn't upset me, but it took some of the sciencey stuff away and leaned more into their friendship, which I really enjoyed. Like, I don't know. I thought that Rocky was really well done. I don't think I would have changed anything there. I thought Rocky's voice was great. The way they were playing around with all the voices during the movie.
Oh, that was so funny. That was so good. When they had like Meryl Streep. Oh, I was laughing. Oh, it was so good.
Loved it. And I actually really enjoyed the musical stuff too, like the musical notes.
I did. But I think that added to his cuteness. That's how he's into just like, I don't know, something quite calming and quite like relaxing about someone that communicates by singing or just like musical notes. I think that added to like his character in the beginning that made you be like, oh, he's like cute and he's sweet.
Yeah.
Things
didn't seem dangerous. And I kind of like that. I also like that the movie adjusted the flashbacks to make them longer and less of them. Like they filled in all the gaps without pulling away from the story too much on the ship. And I thought that was better. And I don't normally say that, but I thought that worked a lot better.
I feel like maybe in the movie they might have cut some things out that added to some of the logic as why things was happening. Can't remember what I thought of. I thought that about something specific, and I was like, well, why would that happen? I was like, well, it explains it in the book. So I wondered how someone who hadn't read the book would know, and I can't remember what the bloody bit was. It was towards the end somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. So when he goes and lives on their planet, we know that he's in the bubble. You see that and you see him walking around. But I couldn't work out how they'd worked out his food because the food that Rocky eats has got like loads of metals and shit in it. And I don't know if they explained in the movie like how they made him food. And that's where the me burger come in. And I remember because I did a bit of a mismatch because I was stuck for time. And so I was sort of doing something and watching the movie. So then I could read it later. So I kind of movied it in the middle of the book.
Yeah.
And I just remember watching it and being like, but how can he eat? And like, how is that? Like, I couldn't quite understand the ending, whereas the book explains it quite well of like how they got to make him food that he could eat, which is really fucking gross.
Yes.
And really disturbed me quite a lot. Oh,
I could have done without knowing, but people wanted to know. But I think the movie was right in leaving that out.
No, but if I'd only watched the movie, I'd be like, how's he got food? Because he couldn't eat Rocky's food on the ship.
No, that's true. But I wouldn't have, that's not something I would have cared about, I don't think.
I did. I think that was the only bit from the movie that really bugged me. Oh, I really liked it as well. There was a part in the movie where Grace is showing Rocky like all clips from at home, and you can see like beaches and you can see bits. And and what I noticed at the end of the movie, I don't know if you've ever seen this, but I think it's down like near Weymouth or that sort of way. They use like is it called the Durdle Door? So they're like the rocks, and there was like a big rock and it had like a massive hole in it. Like that's from England. And I Googled it and they did shoot the ending in England.
Oh, nice.
Uh-huh. But I recognised it and I was like, oh, I haven't been there. I've been near there. I haven't been. But it's quite like a sort of iconic part of the southwest of England, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's arid. No, that's near Cornwall.
I love that. But for me, I feel like the movie ended in well enough to the book by keeping like the spirit of the novel with the friendship and the emotional choices that were made. And I gave the movie 9 out of 10, and the book obviously was 5 stars. So
yeah, I mean,
the book wins.
The book does definitely win, but the film was really good. And like you say, I wasn't upset with anything in the movie.
Yeah,
it did add some extra character bits as well, like just some extra like funny bits of like the voice and showing Rocky Earth, and then I think I know it's in the book as well, but he was talking about his mate, and he was like, "You've got a mate," and then Ryland has to say, "Oh, he's not with her anymore, and she's with Mark," and Rocky's like, "I hate Mark." I was like, that's such like a well, I'm going to say English, but I mean like a human thing to do. Like if that was your friend, you'd be like, "Oh, I hate him. I hate that person."
Yeah, I don't know him, but we hate him.
Yeah, in this moment, we hate Mark.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I really did. I'm really, really glad that they stuck true to the book. Yeah, I had a wonderful time. This has been like one of my faves.
Yeah, same. Me too. And like I said, definitely doing The Martian. I know we went through a bit of a phase if we was going to do like months of stuff, and then we did too much horror and grim, I think, and then we kind of moved away from it. But I would like to. I've got some other. I'm trying to look at my bookshelf. I've got another sort of sci-fi series that I brought for my kids. I think it's the I Am Number 4 series.
Yeah.
And I'd really like to get my hands on that as well. And my kids recommend it, and one of my adult friends recommend it. So if you liked that book and you like sci-fi, my voice keeps going. If you like sci-fi books, you might have a look at those, but I'm not personally recommending it. But yeah, I want to do that. And The Martian was only 99p on Amazon Kindle as well. Just nice. FYI. But yeah.
I kind of wished I got this one as a hardcover now. I don't know why I didn't, because I got The Martian in hardcover and this in paperback, and I'm really I'm side-eyeing it now.
Oh, no. Oh, do you know what? I don't like a hardback. I do prefer just a paperback anyway. I have got this in paperback. If I love The Martian, I might buy it. So I definitely think these are books that you could read again.
Oh, yeah.
Because you'd forget some of the detail. And I think even the movie, you can watch, there's some movies you can watch over and over again. And I just think because of the bromance, you could watch it again. Do you know what I mean? Yep. And still be still get the same feeling and still give the same sort of happy feeling that you get. But yeah, if I love The Martian, I might get the other one. The only thing I was slightly disappointed in, your Project Hail Mary is the old cover book, whereas when I bought it, it has got Ryan Gosling's face on it.
There's going to be sprayed edges.
Does Andy Weir, I might be going off topic, does he do any other sci-fi books, or is it just those two? Because I hear about those two.
Third one. There is a third one. It's not as popular though. It's called, because I'm on my handy dandy Goodreads, Artemis. And
yes, no, I have heard of this.
Yeah, it didn't do as well though. It's only got 3.68 rating.
Oh,
Yeah,
gonna
The
look
Martian
at
was
that.
first, and then Artemis, and then Project Hail Mary. And then he did a book called The Egg.
Sorry.
The Egg. Egg.
Oh no, I definitely heard
Egg.
you. I'm just sorry that's what the name of the book is.
Yeah.
Egg. Who named your book Egg? Egg
Andy
on your
Weir.
face. Egg on your face.
Da-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, actually, just like my friend who also 5-starred Project Hail Mary, he gave 3 stars to Artemis. Maybe I'll skip
There
that
you
one.
go. I still want to try it, but I think I might go audio if there's an audio version.
Oh yeah, maybe if there's an audio, I might do it. Maybe it's
Yeah.
free in my library. They didn't even have Project Hail Mary in my library.
I'm pretty
Then,
sure it is a Audible exclusive because I had to do it on Audible.
yeah. See, I think I tried to buy it, but I'm not on Audible, and I don't know if you can buy them if they're not on Audible. And I'm sure it was nearly 20 quid. And I was like, I know you said how good it was, but I'm not willing to pay that.
I probably would because I know how good it is and I will listen to it again. It's probably one I would do every year, kind of like Jason, her Daisy Jones. I would probably do that one every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm not joking.
Yeah, I haven't got it. So no, I probably won't do that. But yes, Martian incoming. No. That was such a stupid thing to say.
Not as stupid
Not
as me
funny.
saying, come back next time for the blood on the last episode. JC's still laughing about that.
I don't even remember that happening.
You don't remember when we wrapped up the bloody bookmark thing and I said, join us next time for more blood? Because you told me to wrap it up. JC's still laughing about that. She was like, I can't believe you said that, more blood.
Oh no, now it's coming back to me. Yes, we did. See, this is why I shouldn't drink the wine when we film that I do. All my memory is just shocking for like a 42-year-old person, I think. I'm surprised I remember these books we talk about. I feel like this is probably why you lead the conversations more, because I fucking forget.
I make very detailed notes because I literally forgot what book we were doing whilst I was reading it. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't prepped. I'm like,
I only finished it this morning, so I didn't prep apart from a little Google earlier, and then that was it. So yeah. I'm a terrible co-host, I tell you. She'll ditch me soon.
I love it. I love it. I never know what's going to pop out your mouth.
Me either.
And that wraps up our deep dive into Project Hail Mary. Whether you came for the science, the mystery, or the promise of a space survival story, chances are you're left with a new favorite fictional friendship and a soft spot for a 5-legged engineer named Rocky. Now we want to hear from you. Did Project Hail Mary deserve all the hype? Would you have made the same choice Ryland did at the end? And the question that really matters, would you trust Rocky with your life? Jump into the comments on YouTube, Spotify, social media, and let us know. We read your comments every week, and some of our favorites might even make it into a future episode. If you have enjoyed hanging out with us today, we'd love your support. Hit follow, subscribe wherever you're listening so you never miss an episode. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, give us a 5-star review. That is one of the best ways to help other book lovers discover book slayers. Know someone who's obsessed with sci-fi, loves Andy Weir, or just needs to meet Rocky? Share this episode with them. They will thank you later. And if you want even more bookish chaos, behind-the-scenes content, exclusive bonus episodes, bloopers, book mail, and early access to new episodes, come join us in our amazing community over on Patreon. We'd love to have you there. Keep turning the pages. And remember, question everything and don't pine too hard for an alien bestie. They may not be like Rocky. We hope you have the reading week you deserve, readers, and we will catch you next week. Take care.
See you soon.